All right, hey guys, we're back. Hole number 9 here. And for hole number 9, I'm assuming we're going to be doing a layup shot. So, Katana Titan, that's really all that I'm worried about. What's my distance on Thorn 6? That might be my decision maker. I still have 89 yards here, so I do believe that I'll be able to get away with a Katana ball downwind. So I am going to just keep a Katana ball for this one. And that's what I'm going to recommend for you guys. The biggest thing is the power 2. You want to make sure that you have a power 2, power 3, somewhere in that nature, just so you don't have to get as aggressive on the second approach and get it to a max thorn pitch for our eagle attempt. So here we are going to get underway, and I'm going to stick with Thor. Very similarly to how I was mentioning about doing the 1 per ring, if you guys watched my last video, I'm going to play this drive very similar to 1 per ring, 0 per ring as well. Make sure that on these downwind, downhill type approaches that you are going a little bit less on your ring adjustment as kind of a safety precaution. When I don't go into power, like I'm not going to on this shot, you can be a little bit more careless with your, or reckless with the way that it doesn't have to be spot on 1.0, but keeping it at 1.0 essentially will assure you that, if you account for 6 rings and make sure 6 rings are in the fairway on a 6 wind, it's going to be more than enough. It can basically assure you. So what you just saw my opponent pull off, he didn't even have to. If he would add no power, he didn't even have to pull back. He's going to be well short by at least a ring, guaranteed. And it looks like it was almost maybe 2.5 rings that he was short of that fairway edge. So just something to consider. Same's going to apply with Thor's hammer. I understand that the accuracy is a little bit different, but same with Thor here. So, wherever I visually see about 6 rings, and it looks like I am going to have to go a little bit more into power than I thought. So I will keep that in mind when I go about doing this, that, I have to come off. I can only use about half power here just to be safe. So here's max. So, I'll come off and I won't even, put it into the dark color ambers or anything. As more of just a safety precaution, we're just going to, stay away from that very edge. And you can see there I'm keeping it almost a full ring short. So just be very critical with the way that you do those downwind, downhill type adjustments, as they are going to always overplay. And the biggest reason to have a katana is for our setup of the second shot. So to get it positioned where we want it, right up there by the sand, and making sure that it's far enough that we don't have to bring a long iron, is pretty much the key and the full reason that you want to bring the extra power ball. Now keep in mind, I also want to make a mention of this, that you do want to try to thread this shot. One of the biggest reasons that you see me with sniper on here is because I want to concentrate on precision here. I want to make sure that it threads up through the left rough and also kind of goes up into this open area where it's not sand. So what I'm going to do that is right around 3 topspin, and you can just see what I'm basically doing with. You can see how this area tends to make it kind of almost shoot towards the rough. It's something that you need to consider with your shot as well. And just keep in mind, I'm going to pull off just slightly, make sure that 9 rings or so are accounted for. So there you're going to see me just pull a little bit short, and we're just going to go for a perfect ball type shot, and just get it up there threaded as best as we can, and make sure that it's short of the bunker and not in the rough. And with the sniper precision, you're going to be able to be much more accurate. And the thing that I want to give you guys some advice on this, because we're not going to do this hop shot. Now, if you do hit the rough like my opponent did, I highly recommend the shot that he's setting up to do here, this hop shot. You're probably not going to need that much backspin. His ball probably won't get up there unless he lands it up onto the green. But if you run it into that slope, you're probably going to need no backspin to get it to actually run through to the hole. There you see it checking up, not running through to the hole. You gave it no chance to go in. So just keep that in mind if you guys do make a similar mistake. It's still technically makeable, and you should try to focus on making it. But here you can see we're very close towards max. Now keep in mind that on this shot, we are going to need to go down to a lower elevation. Anytime that you need to point to a lower elevation, you need to be very careful with the method that you go about doing it. So here you can see I'm playing just a little bit of right spin, but keep in mind, as I mentioned, when you go down to this lower elevation, you need to come off the ring adjustment. The going to a lower target is going to make the wind underplay. So instead of using my max adjustment, I'm only going to go 2.5 rings to be on the safety zone. Make sure that I don't end up hitting the fairway. As you can see that it just gets behind there. And once again, I make it, so I'm going to force close the app. Can't believe I ended up making 8 and 9 with backdoor approaches. But there you guys have it. It's going to give you the best setup. And rewind that so you can really focus on where I just landed that. So rewatch this video and rewatch that approach shot, because I went, 2.5 rings. If you guys watch the video, I went roughly 2.5 rings there. It's 2 per ring at max club. I'm very close to max club, and only going 2.5 rings, in theory, I only accounted for 5 miles per hour, and the wind was 6.7. So I should have been about a ring off. Technically, I should have gone 3.5 rings. So that just goes to show you, when you move it to a lower elevation, the shot trajectory changes, which makes it come in more low. And that's the reason that you have to underplay that wind, because the wind doesn't affect the ball as much and it doesn't carry up to that higher ground. But you can see with the starting point of where I aimed and the end point of where my ball landed was almost identical. So you could see that that 1 ring underplay was almost virtually spot on. So keep that in mind for you guys, as it's going to give you the best effort to make sure that you guys can, hopefully get that one to drop for yourselves. And just make sure that you're not doing an overplay. You need to be very careful there. You can see if I hit that fairway, it's going to be enough to cost me I'll be in the bunker. So it's not even going to get behind the hole. It'll just backspin into the bunker. You need to hit that fringe. So if you miss that fringe, you're done. But here you can see the last 3 holes, I was able to secure those bogeys. And, had I known I was going to get 8 and 9, probably, wouldn't have forfeited out 7. But, for a first attempt on 9, there's no way that I can say for sure that I was going to get that. It's not anybody that gets 9, it's going to be, a well-played shot in pro. So do not expect to see, people getting it in pro. It's going to be very, very challenging to do. So keep that in mind. Good luck, guys, and catch you guys tomorrow for revisions. Good luck, guys.